Well, hello, Andy Basis coming at you once again, and I haven't done a proper updated sort of rig video in a very, very long time. So figured let's do a little playthrough of or like sort of show you guys what I'm using and why I'm doing it. Anyone who follows me on Instagram, I'll send the link down below. You'll know that I use a Kemper nowadays. I've gone away from using like actual amps, pure and simple because I wanted multiple amp sounds and a different amp for cleans than dirty, and that was going to get awfully expensive. And I was very close to getting a high watt and just way too much money. So I managed to find a used Kemper rack that's powered, because live I still like using a cab. Picture on screen now for sort of clarity, I guess. But I will normally use either a 215 or an 8x10, occasionally a 6x10. And basically I monitor through that all the sounds, and then I send a really nice clean DI to front of house, out the back with sort of whatever exact sound that I might want, but the cab gets close enough, and for live purposes it gives that stage sound, which I think sometimes modelers sort of, if you just go purely straight to front of house, especially in the venues that my band plays, Stealth Moose, you hear up closest drums and you sort of lose something in the performance, in my opinion anyway. That's a whole can of worms that I've probably opened there. But for the most part, at the minute I'm using one patch. I figured I would do the sound plays with the current number one bass, which is a absolutely bastardized Fender Squier. It started life as a jazz bass. It's got an Avidison T-Bird in the bridge and a DiMarzio Willpower in the neck. It has a Underhill filter preamp, which is based on a Wall Mark 1. So yeah, this is the clean sound. Now this is a model or a profile of an Aguilar DB751, and I've got on my pedal board, which I'll do a picture of, you can just see it down there. I couldn't get my second camera working, I'm sorry. I've got a JFX 12-stage phaser, which is basically like a version of the Moog 12-stage phaser. And it sounds like this. Now the phaser is like only just noticeable. It adds a nice like girth to the sound as well. If I remove it, just adds a little bit more bottom. I don't know, it's doing its magic. Whatever is in the circuit of the JFX, it's lovely. I hardly ever turn it off, to be honest. Just that is the clean sound. It's very simple. There is obviously reverb on there as well. It's just like a standard room reverb in the Kemper. For the most part, what I'm doing I've got the Kemper controller on my board. What I use the Kemper for is any sort of delay, reverbs, pitch shifting, octaves, sort of stuff that I want to do. Mainly for drives, it's pedals and they're on the board, and I've basically made sort of a homemade loom to sort of, so that it's a nice simple quick setup and just plugs into the side of the Schmidt Array board, send, return, and an input into the front of the amp, and the Kemper control cable and some MIDI, and the Kemper's sending MIDI to an ML5 switcher underneath the board as well to sort of switch between the dirt pedals, so I don't have to tap dance or anything. Everything is just, I hit a button and it changes. It's lovely. Anyway, I've been talking way too long. So the first distortion sound is the Audio Surplus Lurid machine. Sounds like this. And that's that. Now, I'm sure there will be people saying that you can get that sound in the Kemper. I prefer having the pedal there so that I don't, if there's something up that I need to adjust, I can do it on the fly. That's also why I like having the pedals. If, say, it's too bassy, if it's not got enough treble, if it needs a bit more gain, a little bit less gain, I can just very simply do it straight away on the pedal just in a few seconds rather than having to go into a menu, change it, and then remember to save, which I've not done. I've done loads of times. Not save the change, and then next time I go back to it, especially in a live context, next time I go back to it, I've still got the same problem. So I like to just have the pedal there that I can adjust on the fly. So that is the Audio Surplus. I believe it's based on an old PV amp. It's a signature pedal of the band that I will put up on the screen now because I can't remember. They're great. They are a brilliant band, so go and definitely check them out. Even though I can't remember the name of them, I do listen to them a lot. But yeah, that's like my grindy. You're probably going to say that I've got like very similar sounds, but this is like the grindy. Next up, we have the wonderful Zor from Earthquake Devices. And this also has the duct drive in. And yeah, then we have the much beloved Brassmaster. This is going into a dirtier high watt, but yeah, here we go. Then on the other side of that, we have the Holy Island Mountain Mover. Is by far my favourite fuzz at the minute. Yeah. And it also has a ring mod in it, which is just fun. Yeah. Finally, we've got, in the order of like 1 to 5 on the patches, I've got a Fuzzerosus. It's like a custom cattail, basically. Which is basically a version of a rat, their version of a rat. It used to be called rat tail, now it's cat tail, for obvious reasons. I think they got a cease and desist or something. So yeah, it's basically a rat, and then I've also got a discontinued, because I got it ages ago. It's one of the very first pedals I ever got. And it's got a Caden drive, which is like in this version is a mid-pushed Caden drive. So it can turn everything about the Rat even more fuzzy. It's custom. It's got a clean boost in it as well, and also it's got a clean blend in it. But that is after the Caden drive and the clean boost. So if you don't want clean in it, you can just put if you put the Caden drive before it, you don't get the clean blend, if you know what I mean. But anyway, this is that. And then I can put the clean boost on. It's a very nice clean boost. And then we can do the Caden drive. So you can have just the Caden drive alone. I can have just the dark driving. If we want to get super clanky, and then my normal thing on this is just to have the cattail and the dark driving on at the same time. And then this is the bass tone, basically, for all the distortions. It's a high watt 200, just rock preset that I found off a lovely guy on Talkbass. I paid him, money for these things, but he sent me a load of high watt profiles, some Aguilar profiles that the clean sounds on, some orange profiles, some Ampeg profiles. For me, these ones just work for me, so I really like them. So, yeah. Normally, it's, say, high watt into a 215. And then occasionally, I think the clean might be on an 810. But for the most part, everything goes into a 215. And then, obviously, live, normally, doesn't always happen, but I use my 215 PV cab, which is loaded with Fein speakers, and it sounds really nice. And, nice and full, and it gets similar sound to what they're putting through the PA, which is really nice. But yeah, this is basically that sound.